Hello, Every Nation Helderberg family. Welcome to our daily devotional as we continue with our study through the book of Job in our Trust series. What an intriguing few weeks we've had going through this amazing story. See, this series has not just been a great Bible study, but it has been a personal journey for so many of us. Every week in our Connect groups, we've been hearing about how God has been ministering to different individuals and families in our church. And on Sunday, as I was sitting in the service and hearing Simeon share his sermon, I just remembered all the things that we had studied about Job's life. All the trials, the pain, and the loss that he endured. All the unanswered questions and tension that he held even in his own life. All the cries of anguish and the complaints that he uttered unto the Lord when it became too much. And all the words of advice and opinions that his friends rallied around him as they tried to console him and to comfort him and try to defend God. But on Sunday, we rallied as a family around some good news. That after all these things, God showed up. That through God's loving kindness and his mercy and his sovereignty and his wisdom, God showed up in Job's life. As I was thinking about this fact over the last 24 hours, I was asking myself some questions. Do I have the ability to slow down, to sit down, to keep quiet, and let God show up in my life? Am I willing to stand on my faith, to trust God, and to allow God to be God? In Job chapter 42 and verse 5, Job writes and he says, "My ears had heard about you, but now my eyes have seen you." Friends, when we slow down, when we keep quiet, when we be still, God shows up in our lives. I appreciate that the story of Job does not answer every single question that I might have or that I will have in the future. I do also appreciate that even going through this series, there may be some incomplete thoughts that we did not cover in these devotionals. I do appreciate that there may be some areas that feel unfinished, that feel that there's still a little bit of tension as we look at our own experiences in our own lives. However, my closing thought and encouragement for you is coming from the sermon on Sunday, and I quote, "The story of Job is unfinished until Jesus shows up." We cannot understand the story of Job in its totality until we understand the man Jesus Christ. Because Jesus also was the good man who suffered loss. He was that husband who was rejected by his bride. He was that rich man who lost everything for our sake. He was that healthy man that was stricken, beaten down and broken for our sake. He was that man who was betrayed by his friends, and in his time of anguish, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Wherever you are, my friends, my family, I'm trusting that these devotionals have helped us to know something about God. That we will be able to look back as this sermon series will sit back and allow ourselves to be still and let God be God.